Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 145 of the Alter Ego podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan.
How's it going?
Well, good, man. How are you?
I'm slow. I thought about making John with hut noises.
Oh, up there in the land of enchantment, Mr. Rhino. How are you, bud?
So 145 is actually I love pizza.
I don't know why that became a thing, but, you know, whatever.
Your wife.
Okay. Oh, my word. Yeah, we were doing a little job of the hut lore before we started the show. Oh, the internet is a magical place. It really
Undefeated.
It is 1,000% undefeated. Unanimous decision.
Chet, no, it's not Mickey Mouse. You cannot talk to him. I'm doing the show. Stop.
So Geared Heart, no, I'm kidding. Oh man, what a week.
Ooh, and it's Tuesday.
So excited to be back. A lot of things have happened. We didn't do a traditional episode last week. We just kind of got on and did a little bullshit, which was lots of fun. But in the meantime, the news has come and gone. So it's time to do a little bit of a catch up, time to get back into it, time to have some meaningful discussions, shall we? By the way,
man, fuck that news.
If you don't know, now you know. Spider-Man is on Disney Plus. Not all of them.
That's a transition.
That's
a transition.
My bad. When you said it, if you don't know, now you know. My boy sent me a video the other day, and I just died. Okay. I lost. My bad. I'm sorry.
Wait, is it the one of the little boy doing karaoke?
Yes, doing karaoke.
Oh
yes.
My god!
Oh, that is great.
Yeah, I'll have to send that to the group. You guys can find it on your own internet out there in podcast world. But Quantumania will also be on Disney Plus as of May 17th.
That's just a total Price is Right losing the show song right there.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, so it's the Toby trilogy is on Disney Plus, and then the first of the Garfunkel.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man.
It's Garfield, not Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Just the first one?
Yeah.
Just the first. The second one comes out, I think, in like a week or so.
I think it's probably like an ownership deal, right?
Because it's Sony.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. I was just so now that they got that over there in Disney Plus, Sony just go ahead and sell them Spider-Man now. You know what I mean?
It's not gonna happen.
Might as
Gosh, well. I really wish it would happen, but it's just not going to. So.
My thing on that though is it doesn't need to happen as long as Sony continues to allow the MCU to use Spider-Man. I don't need them to sell the rights to the MCU because everything they've done with Spider-Man has been brilliant. So we don't need to. We don't need to have that.
You know what? Shut up, because I want to play Spider-Man, but not just on PlayStation.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They need to buy it.
I want to see the web slinger come to Marvel because I think we would start seeing him a lot more.
That too.
But I agree. The context in which the MCU has used him has been quite masterful. And I'm very excited for it. But things that I'm not really excited for, I'm just kind of like wait and see at this point, is DC. We've got a couple things to talk about with DC this week. Things are kind of moving and shaking. And I just wanted to have a general conversation that I posed to the group here. That Rhino and I have talked about this a little bit, but not really at length. Spider-Man Legacy is under pre-production. That's great. We know that
Superman Legacy.
What'd I say?
Spider-Man Legacy.
Superman Legacy is entered pre-production, and James Gunn is obviously writing that film and most likely directing it. And there's been all kinds of talks. Everybody's got all kinds of rumors of every single Guardian being every single role in every single movie that DC does. And this is something that I want to talk about. Like, for instance, Karen Gillan, who does Nebula, came out and said she wants to play Poison Ivy in the James Gunn DCU. But there's no doubt about it that Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista and all those guys want to be a part of the DCU with James Gunn. They supported him viciously when I feel he was quite wrongly booted from the MCU, and Marvel's kind of made its own bed with James Gunn going over to DC and doing what he did.
Hold on. If we could pause right there.
No,
booted from the MCU.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
He wasn't booted from the MCU. He took the job at DC.
That's inaccurate. He
was actually told they did not want him back.
The tweets that came out about
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
The MCU dropped him for it, and that's when he took advantage of going over to DC. And I'm sure DC, being in the state that they were in, were just like, "Yeah, dude, come on over, do whatever you want.
We don't care what you tweet."
Right.
Now, I thought that whole scandal came out before Guardians 3, though, before he even took that job, or is that not accurate?
I thought it was too. I thought that was a while back.
I'm almost positive that was before.
I'm just saying, yes, he has been back since then, but the relationship that grew with DC because of that debacle is because of them dropping him. He would never have had a reason to leave. He could have been, for all we know, being groomed to be the next Feige if this kind of thing didn't happen.
Which he definitely could be the next Feige if he wanted to be.
For sure. And I'm really happy for him and his success. I'm excited to see what he does with the DCU. But on this press tour that he's had for Guardians 3, it's started to get on my nerves a little bit how much he's kind of giving backhanded slights at Marvel in some of his stuff. Like, I mean, the stuff he's saying is, some of it's true, I'm sure, but there doesn't seem to be a need for this, because Marvel's been super cool to be like, yeah, dude, go to DC. We wish you all the best. We love you. Great job. And then he's in this interview talking about the Infinity Stones, and he's like, I wrote the background for the Infinity Stones in an hour and a half. I just made that up. Like trying to somehow lessen the lore and what people think about the Infinity Stones, the Infinity Saga. Like, who cares? I made that up in an hour and a half. You didn't invent Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity Stones and that whole story in an hour and a half. The backstory of them being the 6 singularities being created that controlled all those essences, I'm sure you wrote that bit of dialogue. That's great. But for him to say it like that, I'm just like, why are you leaving a turd as you're walking out the door?
Well, you and I talked about this while we were playing Xbox the other night. He's treating it like it was a bad divorce. He's treating it like he's like a high school boyfriend that got dumped by the girlfriend, and Marvel's like, bro, everything was cool. Like, why are you? What's the problem here?
Right.
Maybe we don't know.
Maybe, but here's the thing that I want
to do it publicly is dumb, though.
Like, James Gunn has been a successful director throughout his career, but let's be honest, Guardians of the Galaxy is what put him on the global major map in terms of
1000%.
Like, Slither was good. He's had other projects that have been great. Brightburn was good, but that was after Guardians, I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure he grew up with DC and all this stuff, but for him to sit here and say shit like that about Marvel, I'm kind of like, wow, that's an interesting choice. I mean, for like, everybody's hated a job when they've left it, right? And been really happy to finally pull back the curtain and say whatever they want to say without getting in trouble. I get that. That's very human to do. But damn, man, Marvel kind of really made your career.
My response to that is this. Everyone has a job that they get either fired from or let go from or leave, where they talk a lot of shit about that job after the fact, but at the same time, they don't stop to appreciate what that job provided them, what that job gave them during their tenure at that job. And like you touched on it a second ago, the MCU made James Gunn a global phenomenon. So the fact that he's taking shots behind in interviews and the press tours with DC and all that stuff, it's like, dude, this is just petty nonsense.
But I mean, at the same time, James Gunn kind of made it himself by making a good movie.
You're right. You're right.
He did. He did, but he was afforded that opportunity by the MCU, though.
That's all I'm saying. Not that the movie, not that Marvel's the reason he made a good movie. He made a good movie because he's an excellent writer and an excellent filmmaker. He's one of the best at telling very human stories in extraordinary circumstances. I love James Gunn. I think all the stuff that he does is great. That's not what I'm saying, but there's a difference between dropping your single on Facebook and dropping it on Apple iTunes, if that makes sense, right? Or dropping it on MTV, right? Like the platform that Marvel had set up was a massive existing fan base.
It's funny. I mean, using that same example, you got SoundCloud, and you have rappers who have made it off of SoundCloud, based off of their talent themselves.
Yep,
not necessarily the platform that they were on.
Here's a better example. I can't think of the artist, but there was a newer rapper who did a song, and they featured a really, really old band, and everybody thought the old band was brand new and getting featured by that rapper, right? So who you're working with definitely elevates that.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about like Metallica. If you have a new singer jump on with Metallica, more people are going to hear it because Metallica's Metallica.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. No, that's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. Yeah.
When
you have an opener.
Yeah.
If you're an opener for Metallica, or you're an opener for Bob's Lawnmower, where are you going to get more press at? Where are you going to get more attention at? Where are you going to get more feedback from?
I don't know, man. I've been following Bob's Lawnmower.
I mean, that's deep cuts. Bob's Lawnmower is deep cuts.
So I'm all about that, boy.
I knew y'all were going to take that and just run with it.
You know, it's been all that cut where he's talking about how it's been all summer and he ain't been out there on his mower, and like the real depression that he feels that it hasn't been time to cut the grass yet. And then back to album 2 with this motherfucking grass won't stop growing. Album 3 was probably the realest. It was just called Chinch Bugs, and I really felt like Chinch Bugs just said
the single on that one though, the white New Balances.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
And then that diss track, Fuck Ryobi.
Man, my favorite is album 4 when it's Bring Me a Lemonade.
What is it?
Bring Me a Lemonade.
Bring Me a Lemonade.
That one was on.
I just thought it was a nice touch for him to do that background noise. Honey, lemonade. Anyway, Bob's got enough clout on the show already. We don't need to keep going into that. The Russo brothers have also said they're open to directing a DCU film. Good for them. That's cool.
I almost wonder if that was I want a pay raise kind of comment.
Oh man.
Because the Russo brothers have been the biggest directors the MCU have had throughout their entire tenure. They did the Avengers movies. I mean, those are your go-to guys when you need a banger, right?
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering, and I'm not saying that they wouldn't be open to James Gunn's DCU in the future, but at the same time, I almost wonder if it's like, hey, listen, we did Endgame, we did Infinity War. They're the best movies you guys have had so far. Maybe a little bit more money my way, and I don't go to DCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think after a while, having been with Marvel for so long and so many press tours and so many hours in the editing bay and hours with all those people, it's time for them to do something different. And let's not forget that when it comes to comics, I mean, sure, Marvel is an iconic company. It's arguably them, Detective Comics, but Detective Comics has been slapping in the comics department forever. And some of these guys who are big storytellers, they want to go to that OG that they've been used to going to. So I don't know.
Or maybe just a challenge, you know what I mean? Like everybody thinks the DCU is shit. I bet I could make a good movie for them.
Yeah.
Well, the DCEU is shit for sure.
Yeah, that was terrible. But you know, that's why I'm saying like there's a foundation there still with DC to be built on. Okay, let's go into some movies and TV, shall we? Let's talk about a few things that developed in the past week since we've been gone. Harrison Ford is finally done with Indiana Jones.
Dude, I laughed so hard when I read this news. It's like, yeah, of course you're done because you might not be alive by the time the next one gets made.
Dude, he's like 97 years old.
Like, come on, Harrison. What are you doing, man? I don't believe him now. I think 90% of this is probably CGI.
I was shocked that he was willing to do another one. I was actually shocked when he was willing to do the sequel trilogy for Star Wars.
I think the reason he's willing to do that is because Indiana Jones has been his baby for so long. Like
Yeah.
I mean, Han Solo's the icon, but Indiana Jones is really where Harrison Ford kind of made his legacy, right? Like that's all him. You can't say it's Darth Vader.
Star Wars started his career, but Indiana Jones is what really boosted him into that A+ level of celebrity for sure.
Didn't he already do Blade Runner before he did Star Wars?
Bro, the only movie.
No. The first Star Wars came out in like 78 or 77, I think.
I want to say one of them. Go ahead.
It's Air Force One.
Oh, get off my plane!
Get off my plane!
Everybody knows that one.
That's the only.
There's that one, or there's give me my family back.
Family.
Where's my family?
Where's my family?
I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care. I love that. That's my favorite line.
Yeah.
Is Tommy Lee Jones telling Harrison Ford he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Put the cuffs on.
Yeah. You're going to jail. That was a good movie.
Going to jail, boy.
Yeah. That's The Fugitive, right?
Fugitive, yes.
The Fugitive.
Yeah. Yep.
Which there was actually a sequel to that I didn't know was a sequel to The Fugitive, which was U.S. Marshals.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't know that was an original sequel.
That had RDJ and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to look. I'm looking at his IMDb right now to see what came first. Gunsmoke. Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure A New Hope was his first big break as like a lead actor or at least supporting actor. Yeah.
Yep. New Hope came out, and then he was Han Solo in the Star Wars special, and then the story of the faithful Wookiee.
So they if I may real quick, they just released, or not just released, but they just played it at a film festival here in Milwaukee.
Actually, Raiders of the Lost Ark, he that didn't come out until after Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So you're completely right. Star Wars was all of it before anything else came out.
So there was a documentary about the Star Wars Christmas special. And among that documentary, from what I understand, is that George Lucas does not remember making that special at all. They interviewed him about that a couple years ago, and he's like, I don't have any recollection of the special in the slightest bit.
I love it. Thanks, Georgie. That's interesting. But yeah, so I'm glad he's done with Indiana Jones, because we're A, done with remakes, and B, Harrison, it's not believable anymore. I'm sorry.
I'm not watching that. I'm gonna pull one out of Ryan's book. I'm not watching that.
No, me neither. I haven't watched the last one since Crystal Skull came out.
Bro, I don't think I've ever seen the original Indiana Jones either.
It's okay.
Temple of Doom was good.
It's okay.
Yeah, Temple of Doom was good. I
love Indiana Jones. It's just not one that gets me going.
What's the one with Sean Connery? Is that Raiders of the Lost Ark?
That is the one where he's hunting down the Nazis for whatever the
chalice.
Holy Grail.
No,
Thank you.
Holy Grail. That's the one with Sean Connery.
Yeah. In The Boys season 4, this is one I don't know if I'm going to watch. Season 4 of The Boys.
What?
I don't know. Anthony Starr has come out and said the most bizarre thing he's ever done is in season 4 of The Boys. And this goes back to my argument at the end of season 3. It's like, stop just trying to be gross for the sake of being gross. You're sacrificing a lot of your story and me caring for trying to have shock value in this series.
Yes, that is exactly what it is shock value.
This compulsive need to have more and more shock value in these stories is just I don't care anymore. I'm like, oh, this is all this is. This is all flash and no gas. I'm done.
Well, the thing that pisses me off the most about this particular show is that the actual story is good.
Yeah,
it's a great story. You don't need to add all of the shock value just for the viewership. If it were an unknown story, if it were something that people had no idea what it was and you were making shit up as you go, all right, cool. But the actual The Boys storyline is a phenomenal storyline.
And you
don't have to do all that.
There's plenty of crazy that happens in it too.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of movies and TV stuff. So let's go into the next one. This one I'm really excited about. Dodgeball 2 in early development. Who does not quote them some Dodgeball?
all the time.
Cotton, let's see if it works out for him.
Here's actually, now that I think about this, I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of cool because I love Dodgeball as a stupid, silly movie, but I refused to watch Coming to America 2.
I was gonna say, you of all people for a sequel to
Coming
like this.
to America is one of the funniest fucking movies I've ever.
It's an all-time classic.
I love every frame of that movie, and I refuse to watch the second for that. And now that Dodgeball 2 is coming out, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested. Probably because Dodgeball didn't have that big of a play in my life, right? Like, I don't know. I'm excited for Ben Stiller because I think he would do some craziness, but I don't know.
No one makes me bleed my own blood.
That character. What is his name? What's his first name?
Goodman. Dwight Goodman.
White is his first name. White Goodman.
Or White Goodman, yeah.
Not Dwight. It's White. WHIT.
Blade.
Yeah.
Blazer. Laser.
Oh, he did it backwards. It's Blade, then Laser, then Blazer.
I've only seen that movie like once, I think.
Was it that important?
Get Chet on.
Was it what Chet? Cancel the fruit box to Jack. No, he does not get the chocolate covered strawberries now.
Fruit box. Yikes. Yeah, be very descriptive in what that is. Twilight, new series in the works. Are we all excited?
No. I think I said this exact same thing to you guys in the chat. I think exactly what happened was this. Somebody at Twilight was like, Harry Potter's doing what? Call Amazon right now.
And
that's exactly what happened.
Just want one assistant in the background to just be screaming from the break room, "Your skin is ice cold!" What? And just doing that whole line. Say it,
bro. I don't know about you two, but no, fuck that. I'm all about this. Team Edward, bro.
Oh, that offends.
Can we pause for a second? Can we pause? Can we pause right here, right now, for a second?
Bro.
Did you watch the Twilight movies?
Every single fucking one of them.
Yep, me too. You want another mind blower? I read all the books too.
I don't mind. That I don't, because I heard they were great books.
They are good books, and they were good movies. They were interesting.
They were movies.
Anytime you have an adaptation, anytime you have an adaptation from a book to a movie and you've read the book, it's never going to live up to it.
No.
It's just one of those things.
Just stupid.
And that's why I'm excited about the Harry Potter series, because it's a whole season dedicated to the book. You have much more time. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to go through another vampire phase like we did in the early 2000s.
Trust me, Twilight has never been a big vampire thing. I know the main characters are vampires, but it ain't like...
I'm just talking about the kids that went to school with the vampire teeth and the makeup and the eyeliner. It's like, hi.
I am ready to go to Publix right now with glitter on my skin and act like Edward Cullen.
Oh, you wouldn't make it out here in Florida.
No.
He would not make it.
No.
You need SPF 1000.
Now, hey, tell you what, that would be a series I would watch.
The Twilight vampires didn't get killed by the sun.
That's because they were in Seattle and it was all
false.
Wherever.
They glowed like diamonds. That's what happened when they walked out in the sun. The sun did not kill them.
Because it was misty, man.
Bro, there was a whole part of the movie where he's just sunbathing.
Listen, Ryan, I know you may not know this as well as we do, but we can still get sunburnt when it's cloudy, dog.
Oh, I know. That's when y'all get it for sure.
Oh, my Lord.
You know how many times I've had to put aloe on my wife? I'm sunburnt.
Damn white people.
It's like, I don't know. I got it built in.
I know you do. I'm always just ready to move on. Mortal Kombat begins filming in June, and rumor has it Karl Urban is finalizing talks to play Johnny Cage.
I am 1,000% in favor of this. 1,000%.
If you're ready for Johnny Cage to take over that movie, then yeah, go with that. Which there was no major star that I was like, yo, this person is great. No, I think.
Wait, you didn't like Shaq as Goro?
What are you talking about,
bro? Honestly,
it was a joke. It was a really bad joke. Chet, you're done writing jokes for me.
Why are you letting Chet write your jokes, bro?
I don't have time.
You bring Johnny Cage into the mix.
But see, here's the thing: is I don't even care about this Mortal Kombat movie now.
What?
I don't care because of the way the first one started off.
It wasn't good. The first one wasn't good.
Like, if it wasn't even a tournament, and they're running around fighting and knocking off characters that haven't even made it to.
The best part of that whole movie was Kano. Kano was the best part of that whole movie.
Well, so the opening sequence was actually super dope with Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes. That was super dope. But at the same time, so I viewed Mortal Kombat the same way I view the Godzilla franchise and the Transformer franchise. I know exactly what I'm walking into. I'm not there for a good story. I'm not there for a great movie. I'm there for great fight scenes, great special effects, all that shit. So I appreciated it for what it was.
But see, that's the thing, is the way that movie started off, it could have been a great movie.
Yeah. It kind of sets you up for something to be much better than it was. But Johnny Cage, man, like that's a character that everybody was asking for. They wanted The Miz from WWE to play him, which I think is better suited for this level of production of this type of movie. I think you're better off having The Miz than somebody who is nerddom royalty like Karl Urban. I mean, Karl Urban, he wears geared hardware, the rugged yet stylish watches that are the perfect accessory for any man that's always on the go. Like if it's a board meeting or a tournament in Outworld made with high quality materials and backed up by a lifetime warranty, he rests assured that his geared watch is going to be there for him when he needs it most. He already went to www.gearedhardware.com and used promo code AlterEgo20 to get 20% off his order.
Now, see, to me, Karl Urban would have made a much better Kano.
Yeah. Well, no, I did. Kano from that movie, yes. Traditional Kano, probably not. Johnny, I think Miz is actually a better pick for that. But anyway, I don't want to go on that for too long. King Kong versus Godzilla: The New Empire got announced, and a trailer showing a very gorilla-esque antagonist sitting on a throne and two skulls of Godzilla and King Kong. Yo soy excited.
It kind of looks like it's going to be like a team up, like a buddy cop movie.
That's what the first one ended up being.
Yeah. Which I'm all right. Same thing that I just said 2 seconds ago. I'm not going into something like that with the highest expectations. It'll be great special effects, great action sequences. That's all I'm watching it for.
That's all I want. I just want to see big monsters beat each other up.
Dude, all of the new reboot movies have been great. Kong, Skull Island, the Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Kong versus... Dude, they were all phenomenal.
For what they were, yes.
Yes, for what they were, yes.
I'm excited to see where that one goes. The Last of Us has said they're going to be around for a while past season 2. They don't want to end it after they just do season 1 and do the video game stuff. I'm interested to see where this goes.
My question is this: are they going to continue the video game, or are they going to start doing their own thing?
And I don't want to spoil The Last of Us 2 if you've been out there playing it and hitting, trying to get the story in, because there's a major event that happens that makes a season 3 or 4 very interesting in how you're going to pursue it.
Yeah.
But that's it was something to be seen. Here's something that I thought was very interesting in our news as well. Stranger Things creators announced a new series, The Burrows, a sci-fi drama that takes place in a New Mexico retirement community. The Burrows.
Man, that sounds an awful lot like Stranger Things, but with old people.
Maybe. But doesn't that somehow elevate it for you?
No, because I didn't even really care for Stranger Things.
Yo, first of all, shut your mouth.
You don't mean to tell me that Herbert in his Kangol hat and his baby blue seersucker pants going out there smoking his cigar and saying he doesn't give a shit about all that you wouldn't pay to watch Herbert?
No.
Listen to me. If Gam Gam comes out and force pushes a van through a convenience store, you're not watching that?
No.
I said my story started 3.
Yeah, see, no, I don't need all that.
Yeah,
you don't like. Can we go back to? You don't like Stranger Things?
Not really, bro. Do you even listen to this podcast? Jeez, man.
No, I'm on the podcast. Of course, I don't listen to it.
Oh, you must have missed the bit where we went through Stranger Things, and
how about my guy?
Not much.
My guy Willie, who's in this show. God damn it, motherfucker! You think I ain't gonna? God damn, Pearl, mother! God damn it!
I'd watch that old guy.
I would watch him all day.
By the way, thanks. We've already exceeded our swear word limitation.
I know. But when I do the character of Willie, you cannot not swear 1,000 times.
Hey, Willie don't give a fuck.
Because I knew Willie in real life. That character that I do anytime I do him, yeah, dude, you can't get 4 words in without swearing. Here, let's kind of shotgun the last of these before we go into a break. Chris Hemsworth set to voice Optimus Prime in a Transformers prequel. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with the original guy because
that was, but that's
the name.
Even then, you got to look at the character, dude. You got to look at the character. That you do not see a Chris Pratt into the regular Optimus Prime transition over any time period.
Hemsworth. But I mean,
or it's Hemsworth. Sorry, Hemsworth. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. He's always been a voice of a guy that's iconic. He's been the same Optimus Prime since we were kids.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Right, and he's a machine, so I don't feel like he would mature with age.
Yeah, I don't need.
I think he just has a voice. I think when he
DNI based computer.
I'm baby Optimus Prime.
Right.
Oh God. Anyway, the Boba Fett star, the guy who played Boba, I can't remember his name ever. I'm sorry. Was supposed to be in Mando season 3, and spoiler alert, he is not. This is a great move. Because look at how the 2 episodes of Mandalorian in Boba Fett, look how those were received. They saw
Tamira Morrison.
Yeah. I don't think he's that great of an actor.
But even then, I think you made a really good point. When Din Djarin showed up in Boba Fett, it almost became The Mandalorian. It was like a Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah.
So having him in Mandalorian season 3, there's no point. You don't need that guy. You had a dozen other Mandalorians that had their own story arcs and their own character progressions. You didn't need to have Boba Fett just to have Boba Fett. I'm actually glad they didn't.
Now here's a part where this is okay, is if you say these are all shared universes. Like if you're doing the Star Wars series on the set of in the mirror of Game of Thrones, where you're following a lot of separate protagonists that are eventually going to merge, then I don't care. But when you're calling it Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian, it's interesting that you would dedicate an entire episode in somebody's series to another character.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it if Boba Fett showed up to help him out after he showed up and helped him out.
And that makes sense. And I'm assuming that's what it was going to be. But I think they were just like, Boba's not really getting received real well right now.
See, that's the one thing that I appreciate about the Star Wars universe, though, because I'm gonna counterpoint what you just said. Everything ties into everything. It's not like with Marvel where you could have separate universes with Sony Studios and separate universes with Marvel Studios and all of that jazz. Everything in Star Wars exists together. So I actually do like that aspect about Star Wars.
Well, Marvel does the same thing. I'm just saying that in this particular instance, when you're going to call it Book of Boba Fett,
that I agree with. Yeah. So keep them separate, but they still tie in. They still exist in the same universe. Is what I'm saying.
And when the people receiving it aren't ready for it, that can be kind of interesting. Andor season 2 has got to be the end of Andor, right? Because it covers the 3 days before Rogue One. I'm so hyped. For it. It's gonna
spoiler alert. We know what happens to Andor in Rogue One. So
in Rogue One, yeah, what happens to literally everyone in Rogue One?
Not everybody knows. I don't know.
Well, you'll get
I'm
there.
I'm guessing it's not going to be good.
You'll get there, Senpai. So let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we're going to get into gaming and a little bit of Marvel, and we'll have a good time with it. Okay, we'll see you around the bend. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Back with a little bit of gaming news. Not a lot of stuff to talk about, but something I'm very happy to see. Microsoft and Activision plan to appeal their merger obstruction. Thank goodness.
110%.
Get out the way. This is nonsense, but let's keep going. I'm ready to see that merger and for Xbox to absolutely dominate.
And it's stupid because I forget why they said they were stopping it. It had something to do with
monopolizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the monopolizing, but it was one small aspect of all their business. It really wasn't. Cloud gaming is what it was. Come on, bro.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous to think that. It's just I don't believe in it at all, and I'm happy to see this moving forward. The new game Redfall just came out on Xbox. Has anybody tried
Oh,
it?
no.
It's the
No, and I'm glad I didn't.
Left 4 Dead with vampires.
No,
Yeah.
I'm all set, bro.
Apparently it was an absolute shit show at launch.
Atrocity.
A really, really bad game, just performance wise. You know, the board for a lot of these gaming companies just want to see it. They don't understand that you need to put out a good product. So these studios are pressured to put things out sooner, and it just, you get terrible products. Just stop talking about it. You know what I mean?
They try to push them out too fast.
Yeah.
Bro, make a great game. We don't care how long it takes.
Xbox's Phil Spencer says he takes full responsibility for the poor release.
As you should.
You should, if you're the one pushing for it to come out. What is the point? If you're gonna have a crap game.
Did you guys see the report that it costs almost $1 billion to make a AAA game?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I saw that on IGN a couple days ago that it literally costs studios almost $1 billion to make a AAA game. How is that possible?
I don't think it does. I think it's, I mean, not in that sense. I mean, you have a lot of studios that can make great games and do it for less. I just think they do it because they're trying to do it that much faster. They're trying to make it that much bigger and better. And,
maybe that is it.
You know what I mean?
Maybe it's all in production costs and well, it's not so much physical copies anymore. Games are all digital.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Speaking of $1 billion games, apparently Star Wars Battlefront 3 was 99% done when it got scrapped. I think we've talked about this before. That's
upset.
insane to me. How do you get a game 99% done and then just say, meh? Now I get the whole microtransactions and pay to win and stuff happening. Yeah. That's bad, but that sounds like an easy fix to me. Am I crazy?
Well, I think it was scrapped around the same time that EA caught a lot of heat for the microtransaction bullshit. And we've seen this firsthand because we've been playing Battlefront 2, excuse me, for a while now, and we've been bodied by people who have been playing the game for months on end. Bodied by people.
Sorry, I've got 13-year-olds mouthing me from the door. Yeah, it's just no bueno.
YouTube will love that. YouTube will love that.
I'm sure they will. It's just, it drives me.
But the point that I was making is that EA caught a lot of heat for, you know, when Battlefront 2 came out, there was a lot of people that spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars in the game to level up right away so they could be the elite players. So
it wasn't just that, they also locked Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader apparently behind paywalls.
Yeah. So I think my idea behind this is that Battlefront 3 was a lot similar, and then once they saw all of the shit hitting the fan with Battlefront 2, they're like, maybe we should probably pull the brakes on this one.
Maybe, but I mean, Battlefront 2 should have been out way before then. I don't know.
Battlefront 2 is such a great game, though, dude. It is such a great game.
It needs a lot of help. It's a good game. I think the power scaling they've done in that game is atrocious. The more stuff that you get, you don't feel more powerful. You don't feel better. The computer just scales and absolutely dumps on you. That's my only complaint about Battlefront. But you know, that's neither here nor there.
It literally took us 2 weeks to see how the AI was responding to us.
Yeah, bad. Yeah. To the point where you're walking out and it's taking 2 shots and you're absolutely toast. Jedi Survivor. I saw this story and I could not have been more happy with it. Apparently, when you start Jedi Survivor as opposed to Fallen Order, you start with the same skills you had in the previous game.
I am finally glad that somebody's been doing that.
Like, how many times are you going to have a game with a protagonist that learns so many cool abilities, things that you have earned and learned and mastered, and then you get into the new game and that protagonist is like, how do you jump again?
Yeah.
So I believe that I am the resident alter ego guy that has played this game, right? Like Jack, I know you haven't played it yet, but Ryan, have you played it?
I've never played a Star Wars game, I think, in my life.
So this game is up there with God of War in terms of one of the greatest games I've ever played in my entire life. And one of the things that I'm most appreciative of is the fact that this game literally picks up where the original left off. I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed if I had to relearn all of those things that I did in the first game.
Yeah. It's just story wise, it's just sloppy for them to go, well, we're just gonna recode all the stuff you learned in the last one.
That's where I feel like Destiny and the Division fell off at. Like, bro, you've got guys that have put thousands and thousands upon hours in these things, getting gear and doing this and that. You just changed cities, bro. You didn't change anything. We went from New York to DC. I should still know how to throw this rolling ball.
Especially in the other one where it's like you're cosmetically the same individual.
Yeah, like it's dumb.
So that's interesting. Let's get into a little bit of Marvel here to finish out the day. Apparently, there have been some previews out there in the world of Kraven the Hunter, the first rated R comic book movie from Sony. And it is being rumored that this movie is incredibly violent and very, very brutal. What are our thoughts on this from Kraven the Hunter?
I don't know, but
you mean Kraven the Steve Irwin?
If I were you, I know I'd be pissed right now.
Kraven the animal lover?
Yeah. I'm gonna go into a Sony movie with the exact same mindset that I had with all of the DCEU movies. I don't give a shit. I'll wait until it comes out on HBO Max or Amazon or whatever it is, and then I'll watch it and I'll be like, okay, that's a movie.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about this because Sony has a absolute terrible track record other than the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I liked those, but other than that, they have taken one of my favorite characters and made me like feel like any film he's in is just unwatchable.
Yeah.
And that really pisses me off. But Kraven, I mean, I'm ready to see this side of it. Let's see some brutal violence. And I understand why they can't make him a protagonist if he's a hunter. They can't. Not in today's climate, not in today, the way people preview media and stuff like that. You cannot paint him unless you're going to do a movie about the bad guy. You can't do that with Kraven. First of all, Kraven doesn't deserve his own feature length, in my opinion. I don't think he's a character who's worthy of his own movie. But you know, hey, Aaron,
I don't understand this antagonist as a hero mindset that Sony has had. They did it with Venom. They're now doing it with Kraven, and I'm sure they're going to do it with others. They have Madam Web coming out either later this year or next year.
Yeah.
Morbius. I don't understand this viewpoint that they've had. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with this. At this point, just let the MCU do your shit, dude, and collect a free check.
Well,
seriously, that's it.
Venom has become more of a anti-hero and more of a hero than a villain lately, but you're absolutely correct. To do Venom correctly and to understand his character, you need to start with Venom as the villain, as the bad guy. Why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me.
You know what else has got to really burn your grits is the fact that now they're supposed to be really violent and brutal with Kraven instead of
Carnage.
Like that to me would just the hunter, it's going to be brutal and bad. The serial killer who gets taken over by
serial killer with the most evil symbiote of all time is going to be a love story.
No,
we'll give him 7 minutes of screen time.
Yeah,
and
not let any carnage happen on screen.
Yeah. God, that was such a bad movie, dude.
Such
a bad movie.
You did.
I called it from the
Across the Spider-Verse, the longest major studio animated film ever.
I am so excited for this movie. I have told you this repeatedly that I think the animated Spider-Man trilogy is going to be the greatest trilogy ever for comic book movies.
I hope that music slaps in this one too.
I don't know about that. It's definitely up there. And there's a lot of series I would put it over. I don't know if I'd put best on it quite yet, but
Oh,
animated, it is the best animated period.
Oh, for sure. But I think it's in the running for the greatest trilogy of comic book movies we've ever had. I mean, the first one was brilliant.
Yeah, it was very good. Very good. Yeah, I don't know, man. It only time's gonna tell with that one. I expect very big things out of this movie, and I think that this is one that Sony has actually done a good job with, and they saw the fan reaction to this film and said, "Okay, you guys got something here. We're going to back off and let you do your thing."
The fact that we're gonna get like dozens and dozens of different Spider-Men,
120 characters, I think, is the limit now that they've said.
So intriguing to me. So intriguing.
I mean, those guys will probably get half a second of time. They won't get anything meaningful,
which is fine. Yeah.
Agatha, Coven of Chaos is one that I'm very excited for. Apparently, might be a musical. Which
I can tell you for free, I am not watching that. If it's a musical,
I was gonna say you're out. You're out.
And that's fine. You don't have to enjoy that kind of stuff. But it's to me, it's the prospect of it being something freaking different. Something
different,
yes. Every other show. Now think about WandaVision, where we got introduced to Agatha and how it had that TV film, kind of feel to it, like she was in a TV show. You find out later that was all Agatha. So it makes sense if Agatha has pointed something like that, if and when she recovers her own mentality or whatever they do with her, she's going to have more of that wacky reality bending ability. So for there to be part of that being a musical, especially with the cast, with Aubrey Plaza joining them as well, and my girl who's playing Agatha, whose name I can never remember.
Oh God, yeah, she's Catherine Hahn or Catherine
Hahn.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn. Yeah,
phenomenal. She's so good. I would watch this
amazing
because she's in it. Honestly,
yes.
If Aubrey Plaza wasn't in it, that would suck. But I would still be there day one for Catherine Hahn because I think she's one of the most underrated actresses in Hollywood. Period.
She got her start with the like the Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn and like those comedy group guys, and she was a killer in every movie she did with them.
And I used to say, wasn't she a comedian first?
I don't know if she did stand up or anything like that, but she's always been a comedian,
a comedic actor. Yeah.
Being somebody who watches some of the like commentary, like director commentary and stuff like that. And Adam McKay, anytime Catherine Hahn was on screen, they're like, yeah, we refuse to do movies without her because she cracks everybody up on set. Like she's the funniest person out there. So we love using her. And like, she's done nothing but hit it out of the park since she's been on the scene, in my humble opinion. In some very sad, depressing news that I may never recover from, Blade has been delayed due to union strike. I am ironing and pressing my dollars right now because I'm probably going to have to give one to Mr. Ryan. I'm waiting till midnight 2024, December 31st.
You know what? I normally don't go out on New Year's Eve, but I will make an exception.
That's right.
I'll be here at the Austin house at 11:58.
I was about to say, because I don't go out either.
I might have to fly down for that. Just
for the passing of the dollar.
Yep.
But let's be real here. Does this deserve a push? Because it's not Marvel's fault that this is happening.
I think if you're trying to set up the Midnight Suns and you're establishing a part of the MCU, which is that dark supernatural side, then yeah, you probably might want to, even if it is 2025, dollars aside. I think that this character, since they're clearly painting him as a much more powerful version of Blade than we're used to, and they are making him this big leader of the supernatural, and they have Mahershala Ali playing the lead, then yeah, why wouldn't they?
I meant your bet. I meant your bet should be a push.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I call it.
But it's
writers.
Hold on a second. You didn't call a goddamn Writers Guild Association of America strike.
Not necessarily, but I said it wasn't going to happen because part of the reason too was that it was never being put into production. It just kept getting pushed and getting pushed and getting pushed.
But it went into pre-production when the strike happened.
Then they rewrote the script already, apparently. And if it's already been rewritten, what do you need writers for?
Let me ask you this question, Ryan. If the Writers Guild strike does not happen, what happens with this movie?
It still doesn't come out till 2025, 2026.
Then you're right. Then yeah, there's no push. He wins.
Here's
he wins. Yeah.
He wins regardless because Ryan and I play a lot of fantasy football together. And this year I won on a reason in 2 different leagues because of something that was completely unavoidable. And thank God DeMar Hamlin's better now. But I won.
Save my comments on that.
I got my money. I'm the 2-time champ, and Ryan has to respect that. But no, if it's not out by midnight 2024, December 31st, that dollar will be ironed and pressed, laminated, and given to Ryan.
I mean, based off of those stipulations, even if that crispy dollar costs you 10, it's worth it.
I'm gonna go put that in the bank somewhere and just let my great grandkids live off the interest.
I'd like to open a savings account.
$1 crispy dollar.
$1 when you're earning your 0.002. So when money is no longer a thing,
It'll be worth
a lot of money. Yeah. Deadpool 3, Wolverine being in that movie. Ryan Reynolds says that Wolverine will be something completely new, something we haven't seen from Hugh Jackman. I couldn't be happier about that.
I'm wondering if we get him as a variant and not the actual Logan that died in the movie Logan. I'm wondering if he said
already openly and publicly that there is no way he would do that character because he doesn't want to take away from.
Well, no, but even if it was before the events of the movie Logan, because Logan is in the future. It's like the year 2025 or 2026, whatever it is. I think we still get a completely different Wolverine from that actual timeline.
That's what Reynolds is saying, and Jackman says that's the only reason he wants to do it is because it has nothing to do with the Bryan Singer universe and nothing to do with the Logan.
Okay, good. All right.
I like it. 2026 is that far in the future.
Yeah. 2026, thousands of years ago into the future.
The flying cars.
Let's talk about a couple of things here. Next week's episode will be the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 episode.
Yes.
Strap in. Be here.
Spoiler alert
for next week for sure. It won the box office this weekend with 114 million, booting Super Mario Brothers. Chris Pratt finally beat himself. He also dropped.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure that's happened quite a few times. Yeah.
They dropped the first F-bomb in the MCU history in this movie. A lot of the Guardians have said that they are done. But the only one who's saying they're opening to returning that have been asked is Pratt. And he said he's only open to returning if it makes sense.
But with that being said, and I think we talked about this before too, is I think he is under contract for the upcoming Avengers movies. I think those particular comments apply to after what is already in store for the MCU coming up.
I mean, is Groot not going to be around? Because I mean,
we don't know. We don't know.
Family.
So the only ones that we know for sure right now are Gamora. Gamora and Drax are for sure done after this movie.
That very openly, they will not be back.
Pratt, Rocket. I'm sure Rocket's going to be back for literally any movie that they have him in because it's just a voice acting.
I heard he actually wanted to be done too. That's what I was.
Well, that's what I said. He's one that I don't think has been asked yet. Vin Diesel will do anything you ask him to do.
Groot.
If you ask Vin Diesel to be Groot in the next Fast and the Furious movie, he'd probably do it.
Yeah.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
I am family.
Here's a quarter mile at a time. That's all he says. Quarter mile. So, rumors. Mila Kunis considered for Fantastic Four. Let's talk rumors for the Fantastic Four. There's only been one confirmed casting at this point, which is one we've been talking about for weeks, which was Adam Driver has come out and said, yes, I am playing Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four.
Mila Kunis is actually officially not in that movie now. She said that on I can't remember if it was Jimmy Fallon or one of the late night shows.
Well, they asked her if she was going to be playing Sue Storm, and apparently it was for a female version of the Thing. No, not replacing Ben Grimm, but being the She-Thing or whatever, who was his love interest in the comics. So that is very interesting. The only other one that I've heard about was oh my gosh, I can't think of her name right now.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie to play Sue Storm.
I'm all right with that.
She looks the part. I mean,
if she could play the part. She's
man,
phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Yeah. What's Jessica Alba doing right now? She's
Alba.
watching basketball games and getting hit on by Garrett Wilson from the New York Jets. I still think that hope against hope that Henry Cavill will sign on to this damn movie to play Doctor Doom.
He would be such an amazing Doom. Oh my god.
That would instantly be the most hyped I've been for a casting ever.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of MCU. Who, I mean, well, there's a rumor about somebody I don't know who he is to play Johnny Storm. And I don't know who that guy is, but he's a younger, probably Australian actor, knowing how movies are anymore. You're British? You can do an American accent? You're breathtaking. Get in here.
I want to go on record to say this, though. I love Adam Driver as a Mr. Fantastic only because John Krasinski is not willing to play him. I thought that Krasinski could have played a phenomenal Mr. Fantastic, but it appears that he doesn't want to do the movie, which is fine.
Too much noise in it.
That's fine. That's your decision, but at the same time, Adam Driver is going to knock that out of the park, dude.
I think that Krasinski got a little cold feet. I think he sees how massive that project is and the potential for him to be part of. Yeah. And like the commitment to that fandom, the fans of that fandom, and how important that character is going to be. And if he screws it up, that hurts.
Well, I also think that he wants to do his own projects too, and he doesn't want to have that commitment of being Mr. Fantastic for the next 7-8 years without the ability to do his what the hell are those
Quiet Place.
Goddamn.
Quiet.
Don't speak.
Yeah.
Places, but and that's fine. That's his choice.
Quiet Place 4. Shush up for a second.
Yeah. Quiet Place 5. Shut the fuck up already.
Yeah.
But I think that Adam Driver can knock Reed Richards out of the park. I'm very excited about him being Reed Richards.
Quiet Place 6. Why are we still talking?
Hopefully he continues with it and doesn't want to give up like everybody else,
Well, he did.
Quiet Place 7. A little bit quiet now. A little bit softer now.
I'd watch that movie. I would watch
it too.
By itself out of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be like a problem with a lot of these guys. They get tired and burnt out of doing it, and then you have to try to replace them.
It depends on the actor. I think like a guy like RDJ, sure. Like if he got burnt out, let him go on his way. But a guy like the person who plays Vision,
Paul Bettany.
like what are you gonna do? You gonna go make another Rogue One movie? Come on, dude.
Yeah, he is rumored to be coming back though, which is
Knight's
good.
Tale? Better put some respect on Paul Bettany's name.
I don't know, man. I'm excited. I want to see more. I'm ready to see this Craven thing. Go get on there and watch you some Quantum Mania if you haven't seen it when it comes out on the 17th. What's coming up next? Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yep.
In line. And next week we're going over Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I can't tell you anything. I've had some
Loki
conversations about it, but can't wait for it. Loki season 2, which is probably all but done.
Listen, this is all I'm going to say about Guardians. Go watch it, please.
Go watch it. Yeah, for sure.
Please go watch it.
Okay, well, so we'll see Ryan in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Vacation.
We were going to have our battle today, our Punisher versus Batman, but Mr. Nello had prior engagements that he absolutely had to attend to. So we'll probably record that sometime in the meantime, or we'll have it next week for you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Alter Ego Podcast, episode 145. I've been your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Ryan Rhino. We'll see you next week.
It could be a law firm. Ryan, and Jack.
Hey, 2 Ryans don't make a right. Am I right? No.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for Ryan. See you next week.